everybody. Glad to see you today. It's Mrs. Gregg here. We're going to talk a little bit today about the story Picture Day Perfection, and we read that story yesterday. So before we begin, I want to go over our power words because one of our goals is that we are using our new vocabulary to connect with real life. And so we want to be using these words more and more often. So these are our power words for this week and this story. The words are planned, perfect, hamper, disaster, scowl, mood, queasy, and fiddled. So we're going to do a little bit of work with those words today. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to be using these words in a sentence by answering a question that I ask you. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do that, and then you're going to be answering the questions by saying this part, okay? So my first question is for the word planned. If you planned a picnic, what would you bring? So when you answer this at home, you need to make sure that you say, if I planned a picnic, I would bring, and then you fill in the blank. Sometimes when we answer a question, sometimes we just want to say hot dogs. And that's not our whole sentence. So we want to make sure that we say the whole sentence. So my question was, if you planned a picnic, what would you bring? So your answer should say, if I planned a picnic, I would bring, and then you fill in the blank. Make sense? All right. So let's go to the next one. The word is perfect. What would you do on your most perfect day? So you're going to say, on my most perfect day, I would, and then tell me. So go ahead and say that sentence so that I can know what you would do. Okay, that was a pretty good answer. On my most perfect day, I would stay in bed all day and watch movies because that would be really fun. All right, the next word is hamper. Okay, hamper. What might you toss into the hamper at home? So you're going to say, I might toss blank into the hamper at home, and you're going to put something in the blank. So go ahead and tell me that sentence now. Okay, so here's what I would say. I might toss my dirty socks into the hamper at home. All right? So here's the next one. How could too much rain lead to a disaster? So here's what you're going to say. Too much rain could lead to a disaster if, and then you tell me if what. So you're going to read that part again. Too much rain could lead to a disaster if, and then you tell me that. So go ahead and read that sentence and tell me your answer. That's a good example. Here's what I would say. Too much rain could lead to a disaster if the water started leaking in my basement, which has happened at my house more than one time, and it's a total disaster. All right. So when might you have a scowl on your face? Okay. So I would say I might have a scowl on my face when I don't get to play basketball outside at recess. Right? A scowl means you're angry. So that was just a quick review of some of our power words today. We're going to do one more fun activity with them. So I'm going to show you the words again. Here they are. And I'm going to pick a word. It's kind of like Guess My Number in a way. So it's called Guess My Word. And I'm going to describe it to you. And let's see if you know which word I'm describing. So here are your words again. Planned, perfect, hamper, disaster, scowl, mood, queasy, fiddled. All right, so here I'm going to describe a word to you. So this word means like when your belly's upset and you don't feel all that good and you think you might get sick. So what word is that? Yeah, if you said queasy, you got it right. Queasy is when you feel like you might get sick. All right. This word is something you probably have at home where you need to put your clothes when they're dirty or when you get them out of the dryer and they're clean. What is it? Right, it's a hamper. All right. This word describes how you're feeling. It might be a good one of these or you might be in a bad one of these. What word do you think that is? Yeah, it's your mood, right? How you're feeling is your mood. All right. Fiddled. Oops, I just told you the word I was going to pick. Let me pick a different one. All right, this is what you do when you might have a birthday party and you have to get ready for it. And so you do this to know like what you're going to have to eat and what kind of things you need to buy. So which word would mean to get ready for something? Yeah, it's planned, right? When you plan something, you get ready for it. All right, For this word, I'm going to do an action. I'm going to show you what this word means. So which word is that? Watch my face. Yeah, it's a scowl, right? Scowl is how you make your face like frown when you're angry. All right, the next word is when something really bad happens. Sometimes it could be a bad storm or a tornado or an earthquake. So which word would mean something bad has happened? If you said disaster, you got it. Disaster is when something bad happens. All right, there's another one where I'm going to act it out. So here I am doing this with my pen, twisting it around and playing with it. Which word means to kind of play with something or touch it? Yeah, fiddled. Fiddled is when you kind of play with something. Sometimes you fiddle with your hair. I can't do that today because my hair is pulled back, but you fiddle and play with something. And the last word is perfect. So how would you describe the word perfect to someone without saying the word? Oh, I like that. I might say when something is the best it can be and it can't get any better, and that would help me know the word perfect. All right. So we are going to go back into your My Book today, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the story Picture Day Perfection. So I want you to turn to that story, and we're actually only going to read parts of it today because we're really going to focus on the character. So let me show you this chart. I think you have it in your My Book or in your pack. So here's the chart. Let me click on it. So hopefully this is in your set of papers. So let's talk about characters. So the characters are the people or the animals in a story that we read. So here are things called external traits. External is like outside, things that we can see. So this is things we see like the character's hair, what color it is, how long it is, what their clothing looks like, how tall they are, what their face might look like, their expressions, and their actions. These are all things that we can see. So these are called external because they're on the outside. We can see them. Internal traits are things on the inside that we can't really see, like what they're thinking and the words, how they're feeling. So this is internal traits are things like their personality, and we find that out through their thoughts and their feelings. So we have external traits like on the outside, and then we have internal traits on the inside of like who we are as a person. So I want you to take just a minute and think about Miss Gregg. So here I am, Think about my external traits and tell them to someone at home, or just think them to yourself if you're by yourself. So that would be things like how I look. So think of something to describe how I look today. Okay. So you might say that Mrs. Gregg has brown hair. That would be an external trait. You might say that Mrs. Gregg looks happy today. You might say that Mrs. Gregg has on a blue jean jacket and earrings. Those are all external traits. So those are things you can see on the outside. How would you describe my internal traits? So you might describe them as kind of like how I act. So through my things that I say and do. How would you describe me? Okay. I hope you said things like nice or sweet or funny or entertaining. I hope those are some things you thought of when you thought of me. So today we're going to talk about the character in our story, Picture Day Perfection. So turn to page 91 is where we're going to start rereading. And that'll be on the next video. So flip over there, and then when you're ready, go to the next video, and we will start talking about our character in the story.